Huh?
We're over here tapping in with KWJT, Puget Sound from space. I'm over here with Corey. You're tapping in with Tavares and sliding with Solana. I also forgot to clap. My bad, brother. All right, KWJT, you already know what the fuck going on, man. A whole lot of gang shit. A whole lot of groovy shit. Thank you for joining us for another whole week of Groovy Tapes. We truly appreciate you guys for tuning in week in and week out. Without you guys, we truly could not keep this groovy train chugging along. And you know I like to start off the show with a whole lot of things, so let me just go ahead and ramble them off. If you've been grooving with us past few weeks, we appreciate you guys. Truthfully, groovers, thank you. If you're joining us this week because of this episode, we would truly appreciate if you new groovers would go and hit the subscribe button on YouTube.
Yes, please.
A whole lot of love. We just need it. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. 3, we're on audio platforms. So audiobook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Please come check us out. We're gonna we're on audio, so you can listen to us throughout the day. To the right of me, I have Corey.
Hello. That's my name.
You got Tavares right here. And without further ado, let me introduce this week's guest. We got Mayana up in the motherfucking building.
What's up?
Welcome. He was doing so good.
I know. Hey, first and foremost, I apologize. The energy might be a little más o menos because I just came back from the craziest weekend of my life.
Okay.
I was on the road performing. So, but I'm here and I'm super excited to get this podcast going. You know, me and brother always love to start off the show with how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. I'm kind of there with you though. Mm-hmm. I'm a little groovy. Actually.
Yeah.
8 hours ago, just finished my event. I ended a series that I had going, a 3-part series. So I'm still kind of on like this lit, high energy vibration. You know, like the come down and still haven't really hit me yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably after here, I'm going to crash.
Having to bring it together after, being so eventful is like, it's those waves, those highs and lows. It's so crazy, but it's truly a blessing to be here, to sit down and have this conversation. A lot of the groovers at home don't know, but we actually first met through one of Corey's first jobs as a photographer.
You were my very first gig as a professional.
Yes, good hand clap. We're gonna give off a good hand clap real quick.
Yes, for trusting me with the vision.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I've always looked back on that, and I'm so appreciative because like he volunteered his time, you trusted me, and had no reason to shout out to Fasil for really getting the jug, but you really was like, this is my vision.
Right.
I hope you can complete it with no history besides just shooting this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I now that we get to sit in front of each other, I do want to thank you for that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you though.
No,
I'll let you finish.
Because you started me down like a beautiful path, and just you taught me how to work with a client, especially when I didn't know what I was doing, and you gave me a lot of grace, and
wow,
I would ask you things, and normally now I'm a little bit more put together, so I have a little bit more direction. But it was really you were the perfect first client to
thank you.
This is what I should get all the time, and if I fumble or I'm unsure, it's okay to ask the person that is paying me
absolutely
what the direction and how they would like to how they see this through. So I do want to thank you, and I'm very, very appreciative of it.
Absolutely, I really, really appreciate the thankfulness. The craziest thing about that, I don't know if you remember. And thank you too, because you came through. He was setting stuff up. We were like, we need the white. We need to move this furniture. Y'all both were super helpful. But the crazy part is, that was even a challenging time that day for me. That was my first photo shoot. Yeah. So it was a first for both of us. Yeah. Probably you didn't know that. And so this was my first time hiring models. This was my first time putting together a photo shoot, putting together looks. And of course, during that time, my endeavors was fashion. I was opening up a fashion boutique for clothing. And so to be honest with you, my experience was it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of going off, what I felt was right. And, one of the biggest things before I reach out to anybody, I do my research, but also I just go with my gut feeling of what feels right. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of people out there that I probably could have reached out to, but obviously there was something about y'all that stood out the most, and everything is divine timing. So it's like you needed to experience the grace of maybe my personality during that time for yourself to be, I guess, encouraged to keep going. Because had I been a difficult person, you probably could have been like, I'm good. I want to do this. This is not my thing.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? But the challenge that day for me was I had hired actually 2 models.
Yeah.
And the third model was my sister.
Yeah.
And so the second model actually just didn't show up.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And I didn't realize it until we're getting ready to shoot. And the other model pulls me to the side and is like, she just called and said that she's not coming. I'm like, what? Why? I get on the phone and all of a sudden she's like, yeah, I just don't feel like this is really worth my time. All the makeup, all the hair, like, and I'm like, but girl, we're like 10 minutes away from getting ready to shoot and I got all these clothes. Y'all, those clothes weren't even for me, but guess what I did? I put them clothes on.
Yeah.
If y'all remember.
I do.
I was the model.
You got to step
By the
in.
way, I was not ready to model that day. That was not in my plans, like, at all. But however, for me, that was just for me to just push through and show myself, like, hey, you're quick enough to think about how to switch the narrative. You can just turn a situation so quickly around. Just remember these moments because it's going to happen more concurrently. You know what I mean? So I took that as a learning opportunity. My good friend Cynthia, she has this really dope saying. She's like, we don't take no L's. We take learning moments. You know what I mean? So we don't take losses. It's a time to learn. It's a time to reevaluate and just assess the situation and hopefully just, do better next time. In better words to say. So, our first encounter it was dope. Y'all like literally set the tone. Like we had a lot of commonalities, and then to find out, and I remember you guys talked about the podcast. During that time.
We just had started.
And you guys were like, we're definitely gonna have you on. And then of course we parted ways, and then we just kind of lost touch, but we still stay connected. So I'm excited. So thank you guys so much.
Oh, of course. If you two don't mind, I'm gonna let a good round of applause go real quick.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, we I just remember before we do move on, like just how Corey left that whole encounter. Like the first professional gig, I can just see the light like in his eyes on like after like that whole interaction, just because like it could have went so many different ways, but the way we were communicating with each other and allowing as you both said, like the grace for each other to just learn in this moment, it truly did shine. Because like I mean, the way you pivoted from styling and putting everything together to actually being the model for the shoot,
like I'm in the back trying to zip it up. This is not my size, but you know what? We're gonna stand in this pose, and I'm gonna act like this was made for me.
Exactly.
I just had to.
Those moments are powerful. I just gotta make sure people recognize that on the other side of camera, like that, like those learning moments are so important, and it's just awesome. I'm happy that we're here right now.
Thank you. Me too. It's good. It's good energy already. So absolutely.
So I usually like to start with just to introduce our audience to you. Where are you originally from?
All right. It's a lot. But I always claim the South End. I don't care what nobody say, 206 till I die. But I did move and I migrated a little south. My parents, we were mostly raised in Seattle, Sullivan Street. Shout out to MLK. Then we moved along to Federal Way. So I have a lot of great memories, a lot of, pivotal moments in my life, just things that I'm just so grateful and blessed to be able to experience there. So Federal Way is also where I kind of grew up. And then I left there for a little minute, traveled to Houston, Texas, straight out of high school, like fresh eyes, fresh everything. Culture shocked. I'm a Black woman. How was I culture shocked in Houston? But I was, okay? Totally different. But I jumped right in as if I belonged there and I felt comfortable. And I was just like, dang, this is what I've been searching for. Like, kind of felt sad that I had to leave my home to experience some of the amazing things I did there.
Yeah.
But it was so detrimental for me to experience those things and be there to see in person what it felt like to be a Black woman and be accepted in so many different spaces that here I maybe didn't get a chance to feel.
Yeah.
Not saying that those opportunities aren't here.
Yeah.
I just didn't get to experience those.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I think even now, like years later, like so many things are groundbreaking right now in Seattle, and it's so beautiful to see, just the BIPOC community just flourishing.
Yeah.
I'm walking up into corporate sector spaces and I'm seeing us like Microsoft, Amazon, like that's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we're getting sponsorships for our events and stuff like that by these corporate sector companies. Like that's what I love to see. So that's just a little bit, I guess, where I'm from.
Yeah.
206 Federal Way.
A little bit of
everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But I'm back here now, currently in between Tacoma and Federal Way areas. So
Nice.
that's where I lay my head. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I did a little research, and you went to AAA, right?
I went to African American Academy.
Yeah.
Whoa,
okay.
Hold on. How did you know I went to?
Doing my little research for Groovy Tapes. I gotta figure.
I went to African American.
I have to figure. I have to figure those things out. Groovers, come on. You know what I do for you guys.
If you went to African American Academy,
but yes, please talk about it because nobody really understands how monumental an all-Black ran education facility is here in the Seattle metropolitan area. So, talk a little bit about that experience for you.
Man, that was okay. So when I say memories for a lifetime, I mean things that I was taught at that school specifically that to this day still ring. I mean, just moments in my life to make better decisions, to be a better person. I mean, if you went to AAA, then you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to go to a school where majority of the staff were representation of myself. I had a Black principal. I had a Black vice principal. The lunch ladies were Black. The janitor was Black. The PE teacher was white, but he was Black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
he fit in real well.
He fit in very well. Like I think at some point, we all forgot as kids, like, oh, our PE teacher is white. Like Mr. Davis. Shout out Mr. Davis. Yeah, he was a Black man deep down inside. We all still talk about that to this day because me and all my siblings went there. So I'm the oldest of 4. So all of us got to have that experience. It was amazing. I got to meet Nelson Mandela. We had
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was taught by one of the best teachers in the Northwest. Her name was Mrs. Pinchback. She was the first teacher to actually have a 3rd and 4th grade class, like the entire class passed the WASO test. Do you guys remember watching
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course I remember the WASO.
You remember the WASO? For our school to be a Black-led school, her entire class passed the WASO test.
Wow.
And that was a really big
my
thing
goodness.
both years.
Yeah.
And I was the first class that she taught in that school. Like this was her first time being a teacher.
Yeah.
She broke so many barriers, and I just remember her facing so many challenges. It was just so inspiring.
Yeah.
Honestly, she was one of the women in my life that instilled so much good things into me about, don't give up, never quit, always push the envelope, challenge yourself, challenge others, stand up. Like, I mean, just so many things, besides my home life, I was taught great things there. But as far as someone outside of my home, she was definitely a great role model. So AAA has some leaders. I mean, still to this day, I am like really good friends with a lot of people. I went to school there, so that was a while ago. But AAA was groundbreaking. It's so sad to see how it all kind of fell apart, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The community really didn't see the vision. And if you didn't go there, then I can understand why. From the outside, you see what you see.
Exactly.
But until you walk through those doors, I mean, it was something that was just priceless. We had scholarships. I mean, kids were getting scholarships for college and they were only in 2nd grade.
Yeah.
We were getting, bank accounts set up in school. We were getting, we were recognized as scholars. We weren't students. We were called scholars. We would have Harambe. We wouldn't have assembly. So Harambe.
Yeah.
When we're awarded, we get kente cloths put around us. I mean, it was beautiful. It was really beautiful. And so unless you were there to experience that, like, I just hate that the narrative or whatever was going on the outside. I just hate that because it was so rewarding for our Black kids. Like, and I just want to put something out there. A lot of people, you know, one of the narratives was that we would not be open to having other races come in. Yeah. First of all, I definitely saw a lot of white kids in there.
Facts.
It wasn't a lot. Okay, of course. You know,
There was a couple.
And guess what? We got along all great. I mean, I don't remember singling out anybody because of what they look like or where they are, where they came from or who they were. That didn't even cross none of our minds. Yeah. You know what I mean? We had Samoans in there. We had Asian people. Yeah. But again, we were the majority. But we treated everybody just like we wanted to be treated. And that was the best part. You know what I mean? Yeah. Granted, some of our teachers act like our mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, tuck your shirt in, tie your shoes up. And call your mom right there. Yeah, right. I told him to do that homework last night. He didn't do it. The mom on the phone agreeing with the teacher's like, oh, dang. Like, I got 2 moms now? Like, what is this? Yeah. But, I mean, it was beautiful. It was raw. It was real. You know, you knew that the love was real there. Like, it was beautiful. So.
Wow, that's awesome! Thank you so much for sharing.
AAA,
sharing that with us. Yes, it was so funny too because when you mention it, like just having the homies who weren't Black to be like, "Oh, I go to AAA." I'd look at him, I'm like, "Oh, you go to AAA? Okay, okay, you must be really down, man." And I fuck with you.
Great testing.
We were cool, man. I mean, honestly, that school was cool. Like, we would go on field trips, you know what I'm saying? The other schools be doing what they do.
Yeah, I couldn't get in. I was hating. I couldn't get into AAA. I'm not going to lie. All this love, I'm just like, damn. When I first moved here from New York, that was the first school my mom went to, and she was like, ooh, this is going to be your new school. And then, like, as the summer went on, she was like, yeah, you didn't get into that school. You did not get into that school. We're going to try again. No, it's good.
You didn't get to experience it, though. Nah. It could have been, it was something for the books. So.
Nah, AAA was amazing. And some of the best, like, I would say some of Washington's best people either went to the school, cousins went to the, were some way involved with AAA. Yeah. One of our last really good relics, I feel like, was AAA.
Oh man, I hope they bring it back some way, somehow.
Someone will.
It's realistic. It can happen. Yeah. A lot of people like you and like those old students that actually experienced what it had to offer can definitely bring it back in the future. It should be there should be more institutions and schools like that. It's just amazing to hear people's anecdotes about it. So many of my friends have talked about it. It's just something that is like highly coveted and reveled. People when they speak about it, I just get goosebumps. I'm like that just living through them vicariously is just insane. Like I'm just like, oh man, where was I? But I'm like, it's not a me thing. Like, it's more like, oh man, my people was really going crazy over there. I'm like, I fuck with that.
I'm gonna just say one last thing. Our Spanish teacher was Black, and he had earrings. He was bald. He actually, he was a Black man, and he was in there talking about uno, dos, tres. Like, we was really in there learning. But it was one of those memories forever I would keep, and I actually shared it with my husband. He was like, he's from the South. Yeah. He's like, what? You guys, what? I mean, and he went to a school that was, diverse. And then he had experience of going to a school that was all Black, but still just the principles that we had, the opportunities we had. He's like, y'all had a computer lab. Like, we had the Apple computers, y'all.
Yeah. Way before everybody.
Like, all the classrooms. Right, before.
Way before everybody.
Like, it wasn't just no school. Like, we had, at that time, we were technology advanced, if that's what you call it. Like, we had the nicest and the latest of the latest. You know what I mean? So,
and that's unheard of in that area.
Yes, it was very unheard of. Right? Yeah.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah. Awesome.
I wanted to touch on a little bit more of your time in Houston and kind of how that shaped your entrepreneurial spirit and drive. Just being around more Black people than we tend to have in Washington. Not that we lack it. We're just in these small pockets, and Houston predominantly being like Black culture and really like, especially what time period were you in?
It was 2012.
Oh, that's
to
a beautiful
about 2015. 15.
Yeah, that's a beautiful time.
I think I got back in 16 actually. So
okay.
I was out there for a little minute.
Oh, that's an amazing time. I feel like the South was doing everything first. Like, cause we have a friend named Brandon who moved in there 2012.
Okay.
So he would just come home and just tell us how like he's 6 months ahead of us in every way, like music and culture, and just like oh these events or these festivals are going on. So what was your experience like that at that time?
So when I first got there, honestly, I was really sheltered a little bit. I mean, I moved there and my grandmother had already been set up there. So she was there before me, and so I wasn't just out there like all alone.
Yeah.
You know, getting strung out, just like, oh, going crazy. I'm glad though, because during that time, you know, being that young, I'm so glad I had that protection.
Yeah.
You know, because just being thrown out there to something so new and fun and like, ooh, what's this? I never seen this before. It could have been, you know, I don't know. It probably would have been kind of a negative impact.
Yeah, it could be overwhelming.
It could have been overwhelming, and I probably wouldn't have had the best influences either. You know what I mean? Because Houston's a really big city, and to be honest with you, a lot of people there aren't natives. Like, it's a lot of people coming from all these places living in Houston. So I was like in that like metropolitan area where like the city's bustling, and it's a lot of people from all over moving for work, moving for school, and so. You know, you meet a lot of people from all around.
Yeah.
However, you do meet people that are born and raised there, and I got a chance to, you know, have some dope relationships. But again, I wasn't immediately exposed to everything. It kind of like over time, I was able to be like, oh, this is what the nightlife is like. Okay. Oh, this is what the guys are like. Oh, okay. All right. You know what I mean? So when I first got there, I actually worked in a church. I worked at Joel Osteen's church. In the daycare center.
No freaking way.
What is that like?
You know what? It was dope.
Yeah.
You know what? And I got paid too. So I wasn't complaining.
That's awesome to hear.
Yes.
Because I have a totally different perspective on that man, Mr. Osteen. But it's honestly, it's nice to hear someone close is like actually, you know, like it's actual structure, you know, because you hear so much about that. Like
you do.
And I'm actually glad that, you know, it turned out to be a little bit better.
And I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. Like I'm going to be real. If it was an experience that I can't talk positively on, I would be honest about it. But mine was absolutely positive. Like I met some really amazing women and men there alike. Again, you know, I'm just really spiritual, so I walk, pray, like, you know, I everything I do is surrounded by my God, so I give all glory to him and everything. So for me, it was an easy transition because I've always been based around, you know, faith and stuff like that. But working for Joel Osteen it was cool. It's different when you're actually there and watching on TV. It's different. It is a big church. It's a mega church. It's not my preference. You know, and however, I just feel like, hey, it's the word. So I'm going here to get my word, and that's what it is. But I don't worry about all of the production, all of the bigness, all the money. I don't really care about that. So for me, I was there to do my job, you know, pray, and I'm out. You know, I might go to the club that night, but or the night before and be in there sleep. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be
balance.
Real.
The balance.
It's the balance.
Exactly.
Like, you know,
it's all things in life.
Exactly.
You know.
I'm here. The word is still coming in.
Exactly.
You know, my eyes might be closed, but
I'm present in the house. You know?
Right. Exactly. Good experience though.
No, that's amazing.
And then after that, obviously I tapped into more of like the underground scene. My first experience out of after hours in Houston.
Oh, what was that like?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Because I hear they're like, because what time does the actual party scene slow down in Houston?
It don't. When I realized that, I said, I don't know about that. I walked outside, the sun was up. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It was
what
dark.
time is
Exactly.
it? Right.
What time does this place close? They're like, closed.
Closed? What?
We just
about
do
to go to
shifts.
Waffle House.
Exactly.
Like, what are you talking about? I'm
Just
like, nah,
shifts.
I gotta go home. No, but
point.
it was dope. I mean, it was so cool to just like be in a place and just feel comfortable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, be who you want to be, do what you want to do, and just be you. And a lot of the, I guess the community down there, like, even though it's big, like, it's still close. Like, kind of like here, like, you know, you go to somewhere, you might know about 5 to 10 people in the room.
Yeah.
It's the same way. So for me, I would walk into a space. They're like, "You're not from here.
Yeah.
Where are you from?" You know, I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. I'm like, "What do you mean?" But yeah, they're like, "Yeah, you know." But they were always welcoming. I never ran into no issues of like people, you know, beefing or like, you know, trying to start nothing with me. They were always just interested to know, like, why you here? Like, okay, well, turn up then. Like, let's go. You wanna, you know, let me get your number. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So it was always good. But the party scene down there was definitely different. The music obviously was better. Yeah. You know what I mean? You have more selection. If you're trying to go somewhere like on the R&B night, you got some spot. You want to go listen to live music, you got a spot. Yeah. You want to go listen to dance, techno, you got a spot. R&B, you got, you know, the list go on. Yeah. So it's not just, everywhere. You know, I don't like when people just think it's a hip hop trap scene. It's not. They got everything down there.
Nice.
You know, country, you know, everything. You know, it's something for everybody down there. And I think that's why a lot of people like it too. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Before we do move on to the next question, let's.
Houston,
yep.
That's good though. You do you, baby.
No, I just want us to check on these cameras, and it is break time.
Oh so, yes.
Break time. Groovy Tapes.
We'll be right back.
All right, Groovy Tapes. This is an official ad read for "Where's the Love," Part 2, brought to you by Daz and B Hayes. At Q Nightclub. So if you're checking out the Mayana interview right now, please check out more information for Where's the Love from Daz and B Hayes on April 1st, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. at Q Nightclub. All right, Groovy Tapes, we're back from our break, and I have this question prepared for you. I wanted to ask you, what do you prepare yourself to get into your element for event coordination? Is there a process, or does it come naturally for you?
Yeah, so it comes naturally now, but it didn't always. Yeah, a lot of trial and error. You know, in preparation, like pre-planning takes months in advance. That was, you know, something that I had to learn on eventually. Very big thing. And then also just finding my ground and being at peace, knowing that everything can't be perfect and pristine. Things are going to happen. Actually, if nothing bad happens before an event, I'm nervous. Like, everything's too perfect. I don't like this. Hold on. Because now day of event, what's about to go on? Like, you know what I mean? I need all that stuff to get out the way now. And then day of the event, I'm chilling. So, but yeah, trial and error, most definitely. You know, just preparation, like pre-planning is super, super important. So I try my best, and it's something I'm still working on to this day. You know, I can tell you now, like, I've definitely slacked on communication. I've slacked on being consistent. You know, I've just learned so much, and still in this space where I'm learning. So, you know, and every experience that I have with any person I've encountered doing business with, whether it was good or bad, we're still working or not, I always reflect on myself no matter what, and I always try to make it better the next time. And I know even the next time, it might be something I fumble. Again, I'm not giving up. I'm going to still go get it. I'm going to still try to be a better person. And that's all I can do, because I can't change the past. You know what I mean? And I had to realize that beating myself up over something that I can't change, why? Like, what I can change is now. I can change my future. You know what I mean? So that's just how I go about it when planning these events. It's not easy. I probably make it look easy. I'm just kidding.
Please, come on.
No, but
talk your stuff.
I'm being honest, because it looked easy for me from the outside. Like, I'm looking at people do this and that. I'm like, I could do that too. Yeah. And then I got the clipboard and I got my phone, scratching my head like, hold on now, wait a minute. I didn't know all this has to be done, or like it takes all of this to make just this happen. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, so a lot of trial and error for myself.
No, I think it's so powerful to just, you know, get into that motion, and, you know, really, I feel like the way I look at it, event coordination, you really are, like, you know, speaking to the essence of community and trying to see, like, you know, how best you could fit within, you know, those plans. And it's really awesome to see what Pink Box events mix in all the elements of the culture under one umbrella. Is what I noticed. You know, having the access to the music, but also, you know, bringing it through like runway, like, you know, having that be a thing, a part of our culture, and implementing fashion, all into one place, and then even having like great meals, you know, to be a part of the whole thing is you know, just this huge formula of like of a feel good event, which I think is so important, because a lot of like and not I don't like to say this in the way of like it sounds like speaking down on other events, right. But I feel like for a little bit more consistency and seeing like or being an event goer, I'm like, ooh, you know, it really stands out to me when a lot of people, you know, cross their I's and dots their T's, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I obviously see that through the work you do with the events, which I think should be highlighted, because the more people know about those community gatherings, the networking, the just, you know, seeing each other's faces and familiarizing ourselves with each other, we're building more pillars in the foundation of our people. So it's just awesome. I'm rambling right now, so, you know, also wanted to give you a good round of applause for just event coordinating during such a mysterious time, and, you know, really rolling with the punches, because that is so hard to do.
It is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. It's hard.
I mean, we've dabbled in our ability to try an event plan, and I'm fried to the side. Like I lose half my brain. I end up trying to do everything, and I look at Corey like I'm some scared puppy, and Corey's all like, bro, I didn't tell you to do all that. Like, you know, we're a team. Like, we should handle this together, and, you know, it's two of us. But, you know, I'm over here like,
we do an event, he's like, no, like,
I'll do it all.
Don't worry, I got it. And then I catch him like stressed and just like, do you need help? No, I'm good. Just like, when it's your turn to go out there, go out there. And then like leave. And like, this is why I love Tavares. He's so worried about the outcome and like me not being stressed about like what we're doing or what we have to do. Where he's like, he's mother henning it all. Where he's like, I got it. Like when we did
Rolling through the city with Toupee and them.
He was doing the sound. He was on stage doing the announcement. He was at some point.
I don't even work at Chop Suey.
Like,
what the fuck?
It was like he was doing 13 different things, and at the same time, I was like, "Hey, do you need help, or do you want me to jump in and do?" No, you're good, brother. Just work the crowd. Just like when I'm not on stage, you are on stage.
So bad. I learned my lesson there.
Okay, yeah, because I've been there too.
Yeah,
I've been him. Don't worry, I've been there. I've been him running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, like I said, trial and error.
Yeah.
Learning that I need a strong team.
Yeah.
Was so important.
Yeah.
And it took a while for me to realize that, because I'm one of those people, like I resonate with you, and then I also resonate with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just let it go. I'm gonna just let things happen how it happen, you know, blah blah. Like, I'm not worried about that. But then in the back of my mind, like, no way. This girl needs this. He needs that. Do he have this? Do he have that? So yeah, I've been there. Like, I realized at some point, like, I need an assistant. I need people who can just be the servers. I need people to help me set up. I need people to help me with marketing. I need a good DJ. I need media. You know what I mean? Like, all of those things are super important. And if I try to do all of them, I'm not going to do all of them well. Yeah. Something's going to lack. Something's going to be missed. So I had to learn to entrust people and allow them to do what they do best. Yeah. And that's what I look for when I build my team. I already look for where you're strong at. What are you naturally good at? What do you love to do? And then I entrust that you're going to make it happen and execute the way I need it to be executed, and you know, create the vision that I'm trying to create. So I understand. Yeah. It's stressful. It is. I found myself at one point, and I always laugh because this is just recently. Like, this is a recent lesson for me. I had to hire bottle girls, because why am I walking around with the lights and the bottles?
At your event?
It's my event. And I remember after it, I was talking to my sisters. I'm like, and at that moment, I was like, hell no. I was like, hell no. Like, I'm literally mid bottle, like,
What
why am I
doing?
here? Like,
now
never again.
Now the event coordinator and the bottle girl, service girl fee is all in one now.
All
like,
in one.
Yeah, you better.
I was like, never again. So that's a recent lesson. You know what I mean? So every day I'm still growing and learning, and you know what it takes to be successful in this space. It's a lot. It takes a lot. And so, you know, I've got a little team now, and I was just sharing also with my good friend that I'm so proud of them. I'm so thankful that I've come across these individuals that I work with. I mean, down to the media, down to just, you know, my assistant, down to my business partners, down to the girls that work the door, you know, like they're my sisters that work the door. And to be honest with you guys, a lot of the people that really helped push me and help support me was my family, you know, so that's a beautiful thing to have. And I know a lot of people don't have that, you know, blessing to be able to lean on, but I was very fortunate to have family, you know, and then came along, you know, beautiful people that just, I didn't know, like, I didn't know from a can of paint. And then they just came in and said, hey, what you need me to do? You know what I mean? Like, I see your vision. I trust it. I love what you do. How can I help? And I'm really, really thankful for everybody. So,
oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Big round of applause.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I wanted to touch on a little bit more about scaling your business. I feel like you touched on a little bit in talking about doing events, but like how was it you learning how to scale and like adding these different people, but just knowing when it was time to actually like, let's scale it up and we're taking on more. I need to scale more. How was that for you?
Yeah. And that was also you know, over time, you know, I started off, you know, with something small, like an idea. Honestly, the first really big event that I did or that I directed was the fashion show, the Woman in Color fashion show.
Yeah.
That really was pivotal for me to realize, okay, you know, I started with you shooting clothes, selling clothes. And then from that fashion show, I learned like, fashion's not really my thing.
Yeah.
And I had to sit with that and be okay with that because, you know, a lot of people, you know, they worry about the perception of, you know, dropping something and starting something new. Like, oh, people think I gave up on it. Like, no, I didn't give up on fashion. I didn't give up on the boutique idea. I realized it was a way for me to realize what I was really good at. Like, I had to go through that moment to get to where I am today. Yeah. You know what I mean? If it took for me to have to sell clothes to be able to realize, like, no, actually, you're a production director, event coordinator, then that's what it took. And I'm okay with that because that's what I know it took for myself. I don't care what nobody else thinks. Yeah. And however, you know, to be able to scale and be to the level that I am now, which is, you know, nowhere near where I want to be in the future, but we get in there, I think I had to realize, like, I just wanted to be more outside the box. And in order to be more outside the box, I had to grow. I couldn't be stagnant in what was norm here. You know what I mean? What people are already expecting here. Yeah. So in order for me to do bigger things, I got to have bigger. I got to have bigger team. I got to have a bigger budget. I need a bigger venue. You know what I mean? Like, everything gets big, and that means everything scales up. You know what I mean? And so in order for me to do that, obviously, like, again, I had to build my team up, and then just sharpening some skills, you know, realizing some experiences that I've had to be better in the role that I play now. Yeah. So to be honest with you, the Woman of Color fashion show really was bigger than what I originally planned it to be. Yeah. When I first sat down to plan it, I said 60 guests, and I sold over 325 tickets sold out at this event. Yeah. And I started out with a little budget, and then when I, you know, at the end of it, I calculated all I said, oh my goodness, like, wow. This was like triple the budget that I originally had set. So in my head, you know, what I thought was just mediocre and real small and intimate and, you know, all these things, it actually turned out to be way bigger than I had planned. And that's when I said, okay, this is more than just a little party that I'm throwing. You know what I mean? And also like you were saying, like, how do I create something here in the community that's, you know, giving a good perception of, oh, she's intentionally doing this. It's not something that she's just throwing together. Like, no, everything I do is a thought out idea, a thought out process before it actually happens. Like, down to the music. Like, it's been trial and error with my DJs. Shout out to Night Shift. Like, y'all the best. I've really been rocking with Night Shift because from day one, I mean, and this is a fleet of DJs, mostly male. I don't know if they have female. I think it's all male. All male DJs. Most of them not from here.
Oh, fire.
And me being a woman in this industry, you know, I realized like I like hip hop.
Yeah.
I like rap. I like trap.
Yeah.
And in these spaces, what do I see? Male dominance. You know what I mean? And so I've encountered a lot of, you know, a lot of masculinity and a lot of dominating, you know, personalities. Yeah. And so I have to stand my ground and remain myself no matter what people try to make me do or try to, oh, maybe that's a good idea, but try my like, nah, I like my idea better, you know? But with Night Shift, these guys from day one have always honored me, respected me. I never introduced myself as a married woman, but guess what? I was always respected as if I was one. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that says a lot to me. You know, when I work with men who just look at me for like, she's about her business. Like, let's work together. It's about the work. It's about the work, and that's it. And so from day one, I was like, I want to work with y'all. So down to the DJs, like, it's just been great. Like, you know, being able to scale and be able to work with just great individuals is just so helpful. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask about how did the Pink Box name get established, and like what was that role of choosing basically a brand identity to like push and market?
Yeah. So Pink's Box actually it originated from a name called Pretty by Pinks. That was the clothing line. It was Pretty by Pinks. And then, you know, once I realized like that wasn't really the lane that I wanted to continue in, and it was more of like production and director of events. I just said Pink's Box. You know what I mean? And honestly, even before that, like, let me backtrack. Hold on. there was a few times I had to rebrand. Let me go back. It was Pretty by Pinks, and it was Pink's Box by itself. Yeah. Because then I was going to get into jewelry. Oh. I love jewelry, so why not sell jewelry? Yeah. So that was me. But anyways, that didn't really work out how I thought it was. Yeah. Great experience. A lot of lessons learned, but still it wasn't for me. Yeah. And then I still like that Pink's Box word. I was like, that just rings bells. Like Pink's Box, it's my favorite color also. So I just added events to the end of it. And then also I was like, but you know what? It's like Pink's Box. Like if I could put an event in a box, what will come out of there? So that's kind of what the name kind of like, I guess if you want to say represents. It's like if I packaged my event up and I shipped it to you, what would you open up and see? So when I create events, that's just kind of what I have in mind. Like, what is the experience you're going to open up to when you walk through those doors, or what you're going to feel, you know what I mean, when you get around, you know, my crowd and stuff like that. So wow. Yeah, that's kind of where it came from.
That's amazing and very inspirational.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah. Never give up, man. Like, people who rebrand and think like one is too many, like, you could rebrand 5 times. You just never know where it's going to land you. Yeah. Everything is divine. Like, I truly believe in experiences are needed, good and bad. Like, everything I've been through, no regrets. Everything I've been through, like, has blessed me in so many ways to be able to be where I am today. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Before I just rang off a round of applause. I'm sorry, I'm letting them go today because
this is amazing.
I'm loving what she's saying today.
I just want to check the cameras real quick before we do.
Feel free to.
Okay.
And then before we do take it out, I did want to ask you, what are some of your favorite examples of woman leadership in the fashion industry? Or, you know, you don't have to keep it fashion. You could keep it like overall.
Just women, period.
Yeah.
I think recently who I've kind of looked up to as far as just like the way she carries herself, which I really respect, and it's Rihanna. I mean, or, you know, however they say her name, Rihanna, Rihanna. But I really just love the way she carries herself in privacy. That's something that I've learned to love for myself as well. Like, I have a family, and I've learned to really love being off camera as much as possible. Yep. But I know in the space that I am, it takes for me to be visible and be seen. So I have to also remember, you know, the balance of that. But I just honored, like, you know, how she respects herself. You know, nothing wrong with, you know, being open to loving your body and, you know, being open to however you dress or whatever, but she's always just been really classy and private, and I just really like that because at some point I just want to be mysterious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you see me from afar and you know I'm about business, you know I'm that girl, but you don't know nothing about me at the same time. You know what I mean? You might see me in passing, but if you don't know me, you don't really know me. You know what I mean? So I kind of really just like the way she moves, you know what I mean? And so I just look up to her in that way. And then I guess for women that are just inspirational to me, like just I guess like spiritually or just like who they are. I don't know. It's a lot of women. I mean, I just think of women in my life, like my mother and my grandmother, you know, very resilient women. They pour into me daily. My grandmother like kind of lives with me right now, and it's such a blessing because I'm able to wake up every day and just be around wisdom. And she also is, you know, really blessing me right now, just being present for when I'm not there. Like, you know, I'm at these events and a lot of people don't know I have 2 kids. And so this nightlife scene, you know, I miss home. I miss being home with my kids, but to know that my grandmother's home, you know, it really soothes me and it allows me to work in peace, to know that they're okay and they're with somebody that I absolutely trust. Yeah. So honestly, like I really look up to my grandmother, of course, my mother, you know, she raised me. But those 2 women in my life, like, really made me who I am today. And honestly, like, I couldn't ask for better women, you know, to be that in my life. You know what I mean? So that's mostly.
Oh, that's amazing. Another one.
I love it. You're speaking to 2 mama boys. Like honestly,
like a motherfucker.
We it's more of a hand clap for the women in all of our lives. You know, just giving them the flowers that they always deserve. You know, and as well as your flowers here today, which is awesome opportunity that our groovers were able to get to know you and what you stand for. Yeah. Corey, did you have anything else before
I kind of just wanted to be like plug outward. I know you have a few more than a few events coming up the rest of this year, but
do I?
You know, I there's like a list of 5 that I see just on my
okay
notes, but like whatever you would like to share, just like
I'll share a little something because you know. I can't share too much, but in the summertime, again, I had noted or mentioned, you know, the night shift, the DJ fleet. So we're about to put on a dope DJ showcase in the summertime.
Oh, nice.
I don't want to get into too much detail because we're still in the planning phases and, you know, working out all the kinks, but details will be dropping soon about that. It's going to be in Tacoma.
Oh, nice.
And so, you know, one of the things, too, I've had to learn is like, you know, where do I feel comfortable? Like, where do I fit in? And I love Seattle. Like I said, I'm from Seattle. Yeah. However, I just love the freedom that I can have in Tacoma. You know what I mean? Like, being in Bellevue, you know, at my last spot, I just ended the nightcap series last night. It's really fun. I love the energy, and I just love the aura that's created there. It's classy, it's luxury, but we still trapped it out. Like, we played Dreams and Nightmares. We played Beat King. You know, we was doing it all. Like, it was crazy. I was walking through the crowd, and I don't think a lot of people know that I'm the one behind all of it. And so, you know, I just hear people talking. They don't even know I'm behind them, but the whole entire night, I kept hearing people like, I don't even realize, like, I'm in Washington right now. Like, where am I at? Like, I don't even feel like I'm in Seattle. I love to hear that. That's the whole point. It's like a little getaway. I want you to feel like you kind of like took a flight to Houston, took a flight to Atlanta. Like, that's the point. Like, I just want to switch it up a little bit. And actually, a lot of my crowd is from the South and the East Coast. And I really rock with that. Like, I feel comfortable there. So going back to Tacoma, you know, they got Joint Base, you know, Lewis out there. And, you know, a lot of people from all over. So, like, the support out there goes crazy because they're looking for a community to plug into. They're looking for our community where they feel comfortable, where they can feel like they kind of at home just for one night. I want to create that for them. You know what I mean? And not just for them, obviously for the locals too. Like, I want them to experience something different too than just the regular. You know what I mean? I love the West Coast inspiration and, you know, kind of how we, you know, kind of vibe with that sound and stuff. But I kind of want to get a little, you know, down and dirty in the South. Like, I'm sorry. I'm very hip hop. I'm very, as you would say, your unorthodox type of female where most girls like the summer walkers and the South. But now you get in my car, like, my friends always used to make fun of me. They'd be like, okay, Mayana, like, can we play some other music? I'm like, what you talking about? You don't like this? Like,
you're that friend. It's like,
we riding.
Say something to you.
Like, we play Young Dolph. No, we gonna rock this out. But yeah, so yeah, that's just like where I am. So all the events from here on out most likely will be in the Tacoma community, and that is definitely done on purpose.
Yeah.
I feel like it's necessary and it's fair to be like, instead of Tacoma having to come to Seattle, Seattle should come to Tacoma.
Yeah, we're big on that.
We can both do it.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there should be a scene here and a scene there, and it's like whatever fits you, you'll be able to plug into it. And I'm not for everybody. I get that. I don't expect everybody to like what I do or the music that I play at my events. That's fine. It's a place and time for everything and for everyone. So the DJ showcase I have coming up. What's the other one I have coming up? What's the other one? I know I'm definitely doing another fashion show in the wintertime. That's definitely coming up. And I have a few other things. I can't get on those. I can't get on the mic yet about those.
Okay.
But I can definitely let you know about the two.
Yeah.
So the DJ showcase in the summer, and then in the wintertime, I'm definitely doing another fashion show.
Okay.
For the culture. So it's gonna be one for the books. I'm excited. Yeah.
Tacoma. I know a lot of you guys watch and you stay to the end. There'll be a lot of events in Tacoma for you guys now. So please pop out, show some love. I can stand by these events because this is how kind of I got here. So like, please pop out.
Groovy Tapes will be there.
You know,
absolutely.
You know, so like,
please, yeah,
come fuck with us because you know we love Tacoma. So here's Tacoma getting like love and events and like continuation outside of Daz doing events. So.
Yeah.
Come pop out.
And shout out to all the other promotion companies out there. Like, I see y'all, like, to be honest with you, like, I get my flowers, but I give y'all flowers because y'all are also breaking barriers. Y'all are breaking through, to different communities and different crowds. I mean, shout out to Laid Back Allure. They're doing their thing. The Collective, Blast, Lily Milan. I mean, it's so many. Like, they're doing their thing, and I just love it. And it's just like, yes, like, more of it. And I hope more people are inspired by this and want to do it too.
Facts.
I'm gonna be real with you. It's hard, but
you
can
only imagine.
If you're really passionate about it, you'll be successful. But I just want to shout out to everybody out there that's doing their thing. I definitely promote and I support all of the other events. I don't just go to my events. Like, I pull up to everybody I just mentioned. Yeah. So it's really dope to experience something different and actually be able to enjoy something instead of always being behind the scenes working. Yeah. So that's how I look at it too.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Another one.
Listen. And then before the end of the pod, do you have anything you want to say to your friends and family that's watching on the other side of the camera?
Yes, I do. I got a lot. But I'm going to keep it short. I just want to say thank you guys for continuing to trust me. Everybody who's ever showed up to my events, thank you for trusting me. It only gets better from here on out. I promise you that. I do everything with intent, and I always keep community at the forefront. I always think about you guys first. And most importantly, I think about my ladies because I was always tired of going to events where I felt like I was unsafe and I wasn't protected. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the biggest things that I always make sure, like, I have the best security. I make sure that if anything's going down, your word against anybody else. So if anything, I want to just say thank you. Always listen to Groovy Tapes because they got the best individuals on here that's going to pour love, give love, and be inspired. So that's it.
Oh my goodness. You thought I was done with the applause, but hey.
One more.
We're back.
One more.
And KWJT, you've been grooving with the South, man. We got Mayana. We got Corey. Hello. And Tavares.
No Rolando today, sorry.
Oh, yeah. No Rolando. We love you, though.